Hey guys, WLJK here. I figured seeing that we've been having problems with this, I'd show you guys settings I used, and that's really loud. Now, I'm going to show you a screen here in a few seconds of the actual tweaks that I have done outside of the game. So, we shall look at that, and I shall come back in a second with this. Alright, that worked out actually very good. The first step I got this off of forums and everything else. Added a folder under C users. Now the asterisk is going to be your username, app data local. Made a folder saying ID software. Then in that made a new folder called Rage. Now what that does is it adds a cache file. That helped before the patch. One thing I found out that helped is turn off Arrow, which if you don't know how to do it, you just right click on your desktop and click personalize, and you select one of the basic themes, either Windows 7 Basic or Windows Classic. Now for the ATI guys, in the Catalyst Control Center settings I have here, which is, you go down to the gaming 3D apps. These are my settings. The anti-aliasing I have set to use application settings with the filter down below set to standard. The filtering is set use application settings. Tessellation I set to AMD optimize, so the card takes care of that. It takes off the processor. The Catalyst AI is set to high quality texture filtering and enabled surface format optimization. The anti-aliasing I set to multi-sample AI, and OpenGL, which I've heard people say shut it off, but if I keep it on, it runs beautiful. Now for the actual drivers and stuff I'm running the newest ATI 11.10 Preview 2 driver. The Rage update is installed, and the settings I shall show you here in a second as soon as I bring it back. Okay, so now that we've seen that, here are the settings for the games. I'm sorry if the video don't quite line up right, but the video settings: 12A by 720 resolution, full screen, 8x. Now once again, this is supposed to be on. For some reason it keeps kicking off occasionally, but VSync, which is from the update patch, we can turn on now. Texture cache is small and the filter is low. Now I'm going to switch this up to high or large just to see what happens, because I haven't tried it yet, and seeing that I'm quite a few steps into the game. Now when I'm recording this, okay, large really makes it blurry a little bit. Oh, actually don't do too bad, but as you can see, it's playable. Now if I'm not recording, benchmarking the video, it's at 1080 it's running at 60, at 720 it's running at 30. I might just keep that setting up there, because that actually looks pretty good. Let's look at those settings again. Let's see what happens when we turn around and put that on high. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so I lost 1 or 2 frames while recording. Nothing major. It don't look too bad as I sprint up here. Okay. Well, I guess those tweaks and what I've just done helps out. I can't really tell the difference between setting the high, low, and everything else, but I know the VSync is very important. So with that being said, those are the settings I use to record with. One thing I don't believe I mentioned on the little slideshow there presentation is the fact that I set the, and I'm sorry if you heard that stupid commercial in the other room, is that the virtual memory file, the swap file on the drive that I'm recording on, which is not, okay, first off, the swap file size is set to about 12 gig. Second, as some of you may or may not know, my system consists of 3 hard drives. I got the main operating system drive with all the applications. Now I have a media drive that has my music, my videos that I have saved that I liked before I uploaded them to YouTube, and also my games. That's where my Steam is based at. Then I have one high-speed drive that is dedicated strictly to recording. Now, I set the 12 gig up on the media drive. The video production drive, I have like a 4 gig or a 6 or 4 or 8 gig, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. And then the Windows drive, I just have it set to whatever they suggest. But having the memory cache seems to help it, because there's one little thing when you load, like if I press enter right now to go into the game and then pick the level to load, continue with the campaign, the game actually stops responding. I've seen this on the task manager. It stops responding, then it'll pause for a second, then it'll go in. Now I notice when I turn around and use the added virtual memory, it cuts that time down. But when I was testing this, if I played it on the C drive, because I tried all the drives, if I played it on the C drive, there was a 50-50 chance that when it did that not responding, it would crash completely. I went to the media drive, I had about 1 in 4 chance it would crash. The Z drive, it would continue on no matter what. So the C gave me, a 50-50 chance. The media, I'd say about 1 in 4. And the Z drive gave me 100%. Now, the only problem is I can't run it while I'm recording on the same drive. Otherwise, it'll cause problems. But with that said, changing to my D drive and doing the tweaks and the update patches and whatnot, it's about a 1-to-1 ratio. Every time it freezes, it goes back in, so it's not a problem. So hopefully these tips helped you guys out. I know a lot of us ATI users are having problems. I know there's some NVIDIA people out there. I'm sorry, I no longer own NVIDIA cards, so I can't help with the tweaking. I'm sure you have similar settings in your the CUDA settings and whatnot. One last note. Now, those settings are set up for a single card. I do not run Crossfire. I don't have a second card, which I don't see why I need to, because when I'm playing it in 1080, it's running 60 frames. It looks beautiful, no problems. So if you have a 2 or 3 card Crossfire setup, you may have to tweak it to what your setup will use. And if that's the case, and these little tweaks helped in any way, I'm glad, I'm happy. If you guys can suggest any other tweaks, maybe help others out. I don't do the developers' console codes. I don't like doing them because I occasionally screw things up doing those. I heard about the config file idea. I was tempted to do that, but once again, I don't want to mess with the config file and cause problems. So everything that you have seen has been pretty much either system itself or within the programming of the Catalyst drivers and the game. So hopefully this helps. This has been WLJK, and hopefully, even though I was planning on recording this and Dead Island this weekend, but I've been spending most of the weekend working on this, trying to get the run right. that hopefully soon I shall be bringing you guys some gameplay footage. So catch you guys later.